Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Ashley and I'm glad you could be here with me today. I have a very exciting 3 looks, 1 palette with the Colourpop Whatever palette, okay? This little beauty released, I want to say the 12th of September. Anytime Colourpop comes out with a collection, you know they're going to come with it. So they had glosses, they had super shock blushes, they had eyeliners, they had mascara, they had it all. You know, they had it all. So I decided to pick up 3 items out of this collection, and I picked up a super shock blush, which is right here. I got the shade called Drop of a Hat, and I will swatch that for you a little bit later. And then I also picked up this one gloss that's called Crushin, and this is a high shine ultra glossy lip, okay? Now the ultra glossy lip retails for $7, and meanwhile the blush retails for $8. The palette that I picked up retails for $18, and it is gorgeous, okay? So I am very thrilled about the 3 looks that I have here for you, and meaning this is one of them, okay? So this is actually the outside of the palette, and it's super cute. The packaging is actually raised right here. So all of this is raised like it was cut out of a book and made to be like a burn book or something like that. I'm not sure if that was the inspiration of the palette, but that is definitely what's going on here. Then you have these beautiful roses with the, what is this, cheetah print? Underneath right here, like you see on the packaging. And then when you turn it over in the back, you have the shade names, and then you also have the same embossed thing with the back lettering of this package. Now there are 3 shades in this palette that are not safe for eye use. I think everybody's kind of knows, like the glitter at this point is not safe for eye use, and that is the shade called Duh. Okay. And then we have Bad Guy, and then we also have Miss Brightside. So Miss Brightside and Bad Guy is more because those are more pressed pigment formulations, and you know the pressed pigments, they can cause staining, so it just depends on if that's something that bothers you or not. Now that doesn't usually happen, the staining with me, and if I get a little bit of staining, it goes away, so it's not a big deal as long as my eyeball don't fall off, okay? So this is the shade Miss Brightside that is not safe, the shade Bad Guy, and then the shade Duh. Now I do have that glitter on my eyes right now, and I felt a lot comfortable using this glitter because this is more of the glitter that is basically can be found in the Sweet Talk palette. You know, that was the first palette where they started putting glitters in it this year. And so the palettes that, the 9-pan palettes, excuse me, that have had the glitter in it, they've been like re-released glitters that or more so for the body, and those glitters have been very chunky, and I'm talking about the particles have been big, and I have not liked that on my eyes. This looked very chunky, tacky. I mean, it just didn't look good at all. But this glitter, I'm pleased to announce, it feels and looks great. And I actually didn't use a glitter glue, as you guys will see later on in the demo. So let's go ahead and get to swatching this bad boy. And like I said, I have 3 looks for you, okay? And then we'll wrap up with some final. The first shade that we have here is actually a super shock shadow, and it's called Tardy. And it is a beautiful color. And because it's a super shock, it's super metallic and it's super smooth. The next shade we have is called Pink Slip, which is super creamy matte. It's quite light. It's a little bit lighter than my skin complexion, actually. The next shade we have is called Maybe Later. Next up we have Copycat. Then we have Pass It On. And then we have Bad Guy. We have Duh, which is the pressed glitter. It's actually quite beautiful, and lots of duochrome shifts in that glitter. Then we have Not Okay, which is one of my favorite shadows in the palette. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And then we have Ditching You, which is also another beautiful shade. Next up we have In Bold. And I'm going to swatch that again because it's a muted brown shade. These shades don't swatch as well as they do perform on the eyes. I am very happy to report. This is in bold. And then we have TTYN, which I think might stand for Talk to You Never. This is a beautiful coppery rose gold shade. And then we have Miss Brightside, which is also not safe for eye use. And these are the swatches. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Eyelids are primed with using my Too Faced Multi-Sculpting Concealer in the shade Butterscotch. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my Wayne Goss. This is my number 16 brush. And I'm going to go ahead and start with the shade Pass It On right here. I'm just going to pick that shade, tap off the excess, and put it in the crease. Ooh, that's pretty. Just going to blend it out. And this is like an orange, burnt orange shade, but it looks like it has a little pink in it also. And I'm just blending that right into the crease. And I just want to build it up just a little bit more. This is such a big blending brush, so like this brush will definitely blend out all the colors kind of lightly, which is good, but sometimes you're like, I don't want to blend it out, and I'm just going to kind of bring it up just a little bit right there by the brow where we got the arch, just so it's a little bit, has that shape. Let me just bring a little bit more into the inner corner. Now, switching brushes, I'm going to go ahead and take this Sonia G, and this is my crease brush, and I'm going to go ahead and go with the shade Bad Guy. This is Bad Guy right here, and I think that shade is super pretty. And I'm just going to tap off the excess, and I'm just going to throw this in the crease. And this shade blends out really nicely as well. And now pick up a little bit more. And blend that out. And I just kind of want this to be like all in the crease. And marry with that first shade, which was called Pass It On. Now going ahead with my Sonia G, and this is my Builder Pro brush. I'm going to go on with the shade Mrs. Brightside. That's that very dark, deep Merlot burgundy color. And I'm just going to kind of press it on the lid right there, just all over the lid, and throw it into the crease. This look is not like about exact preciseness. It's just a nice little blended rosy matte. Well, so far as matte, a shimmer might find its way in there. Hi. Oh, that looks pretty. Now, I do want to just kind of zhuzh up my blending, going in with my Builder Pro. Sorry, Blender Pro. I was like to say, no, this is a Blender Pro. And this is by Sonia G as well. I'm just going to start with no additional product on this brush. And I'm just going to make sure like all my blending is fused together right there. Then I'm going to go back in with the same brush, take the shade Pass It On, which is right here, and work that a little bit more into the outer area, and then kind of do some circular motions to bring it in. I'm gonna go ahead and take this flat look brush by Colourpop. I'm gonna go in with the shade Tardy, and Tardy is a super shock. Just gonna pick up a little bit with that brush and do just ever so slightly, just a little bit. I don't want to do too much in the inner corner. This look came out beautiful, and It's like super effortless. And you put on liner, little lash, or just do your mascara up really good. I'm gonna do a second look on this eye and then we'll do some lashes and bring it all together. Okay, so now I'm going in with my Sephora Pro number 10 brush. This is just a crease brush. I'm gonna go in with the shade Maybe Later, which is right here, this beautiful mauve tone shade. It's a light mauve tone, which is nice, and we give a little something different to the crease or the transition area. And I'm just gonna apply this all over my transition area. Eyelids are primed once again with that Born This Way concealer. And I want it to be a little bit more pigmented, so I'm just gonna like pick up some and then kind of do my stamp method. Not to say that the shadow isn't pigmented, but when I'm using these fluffy brushes, you know, all your pigment goes like out versus when you kind of just stamp it in. And I'm just blending that in using some windshield wiper motions / circular motions. I think I do want to just pick it up just a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. With that Sonia G Crease Pro, I do want to dip back into the shade Bad Guy, which was right here. And I'm going to just tap off that brush. And then I'm just going to focus this down a little bit lower in the crease so we have a little bit more of a gradient. And I'm just going to focus it really more so on the outer part. And I'm just going to kind of circle motions and then buff it in. But like I said, I'm not taking it over. I'm just keeping it on this outer V, just to highlight like my orbital bone. So we definitely get that definition. And then I'm going to bring some into this little corner right here. My brushes are so dirty, y'all. I am going to wash them when I finish filming. That is, I hope, that is my plan. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and take the shade in the bold, and I am using my Sonia G. This is the Worker Pro brush, and I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that shade, and I'm going to tap it off, and I'm going to place it right on this outer V right there, and this is more focusing on my lower, my mobile lid, because we have that other color accentuating our crease. Go there. And I'm just building it up to my liking. And I've just decided I'm going to bring some a little bit further in right there. And I'm just kind of like patting and dragging down. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my favorite little Tarte brush from my shimmer shades. And I'm going to go into TTYN, which is right here. And this is a beautiful little rose color. And I'm just going to pick some up on that brush. And then I'm going to bring it. Oh my. Do you see that? That is dry, guys. That's beautiful. Now you know I can see this all over my lid. Oh man. And I'm just going to fuse it in with that brown shade that's called In the Bold. And I'm actually going to pick up a little bit more, and I'm just going to still bring it in just a little bit more. But I do not want to cover up that brown. I still want you to see it. Like, I want the eye to just be so multi-dimensional. And I'm just going to bring it down here, and I'm going to lightly blend it into this area right in here. And I have no additional product on my brush. You know, just kind of dragging the shadow down right there. And with that same Colourpop brush that I used in the other look, I'm going to go in with the shade Tardy. And I'm going to put that in the inner corner again, but now I'm going to more so layer it. And remember, this is the Super Shock shadow, so it's lots of potential, however. And now I'm just going to kind of bring some of that over into that area. So we have a nice sparkle situation on here. Okay, so now I'm going to throw on some lashes and liner and do my face makeup, and we'll be back to talk about these two. Okay, I am back. So this is the final two looks. So I hope you guys enjoy me doing it this way versus, because I like to do multiple looks, one palette, especially it just really gives you guys a good jush of how you can use this palette in multiple ways. But baby, the stress on the eyelids for doing two eyes the same. So I hope that you guys can really just appreciate me doing one eye. So this is here, the matte, and I think the matte is gorgeous. It's super smoky. Just a little touch with the Super Shock shadow just gives it a little bit of in that inner corner. I decided not to do any liner, just put the lash on, and I think it turned out great. This eye is super glam. I like how it just, you can just definitely see the difference between shadow applications. Like this one just makes the eye look so much more open. Not that this one is closed, but when you compare it with this one, you're like, that one's super open. But this is a smoky eye. So I mean, I just love how that Super Shock shadow plays in with that shade TTYN. What is this called? Talk, maybe is it Talk to You Never? I don't know. I don't know what the acronym stands for. But I think it's beautiful, 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 beautiful. And that shade is just so foiled and so pretty. That brown shade picked up nice. So that Bad Guys, so to Pass It On. Everything has been great so far. So I hope you guys appreciate me doing the looks like this and doesn't confuse you too much, because my eyes just can't handle stress. And then I did just put on a little bit of Come On Sis by Makeup Shayla with a little bit of Chestnut Lipliner. Did my foundation wearing the Fenty Hydrating Foundation. Didn't do any cheeks yet and didn't do the gloss. I didn't want to go too far in the gloss, but I wanted the look to look complete when I came back on, because I did buy a blush and I want to demo for you guys with the final look. And oh, my lashes, they are the Ardell Demi Whispies. So let's go ahead and do the third look. Okay, I am back. My eyelids are re-primed using that Too Faced Born This Way concealer. So let's get into the last look. I am going to go ahead and start with that Sephora Pro 10 blending brush. I am going to go in with the shade Copycat, which is right here. Very light tone brown, so it's probably just really going to set my concealer at this point. But you know, I want to see what it looks like, and just so you can get a guide what it looks like on my complexion. It's actually not terrible. It's not the lightest shade I've come across. Just throw that in the crease. Now I want to go ahead and take my Sonia G, and this is the Worker Pro, and I'm going to go in with Mrs. Brightside right here. And I'm going to go ahead and just pick a little bit up, and we're going to put this in the outer V. So let me come in closer, a little far. This color is gorgeous. Do you see the pigmentation? Ooh. Yep, yep, and yep. So I'm going to leave it like this, and I'm going to go in with a small Wayne Goss number 19 blending brush, and I'm just going to blend out this outer area. I'm not dragging it forward. I'm not dragging. I'm just literally here, fusing out the edge using some circular motions. Okay, I brought you in just a little closer so you could just see what I'm doing with the blending. I'm here. I'm not going to take it here, like I usually do. I'm here. Just making sure like we didn't just plop some color down on the lid. This is beautiful. I'm going to just kind of make sure my blending is straight in this area too, but I want a lot of pigment right there. This color is just everything so pretty. And I'm just taking with a little light hand and just kind of picking it up and flicking the shadow. Whew, that is pretty. Going in, this look is kind of going to be about the shimmers to a degree. I'm going in with the shade Not Okay. I have my Sonia G. This is the Builder Pro brush. I'm going to pick up that shade Not Okay. I'm going to tap off the excess. Oh, do you see that color? That is so freaking pretty. Like, and I'm just kind of fusing it in with this color. I'm not going to fuse it over too much just yet because I don't want to mess up my look. And I'm just going to keep blending this with that same brush. Just kind of blend it up. Bringing it right into here. Pick up a little bit more color. So super pigmented. This is not even wet. Shade is everywhere. Shade is so damn pretty. Oh my God. I gotta wear this tomorrow. Oh my God. I am wiping off my Sonia Builder Pro or whatever this is called. Yeah, Builder Pro. See, this is why I need a second Sonia G eye set, because this Sonia G eye set is every dang on thing, okay? Now I'm going to take the shade Ditching You. This is a beautiful like rose gold shade. Tapping off the excess. This shade is a little bit glittery, more glittery. And I'm just going to put it up in here. And I'm going to fuse it in with the shade Not Okay. And then I'm going to bring it up so it meets. Just like that. That's pretty. Going back in with that Wayne Goss, what was this, the number 19 brush? I'm going to pick up a tiny bit more of Mrs. Brightside, or Miss Brightside rather. She's single, she's not spoken for, okay? She's like, look, don't be making me an MRS. I'm trying to find my person, okay? I get it, girl. I'm trying to find my person too. Let him find me. Let God take control, because whew, let me tell you, it's hard out here in these streets trying to date. So I said all that to say I'm just kind of like blending these two shades in together. So it's not such a harsh look. There we go. But I want maximum pigmentation there. We really don't need to, okay? But for the sake of this tutorial, and I'm going to take my Sephora glitter liner, and I feel a lot more comfortable with these glitters. And the reason why is these are like the glitters that are in the Sweet Talk palette. These are not like the glitters that are in that dang on the 9-pan palettes where it's like they're super, super big. So just gonna put a little bit there, and I'm just using this glitter liner. I'm just picking it up, tapping off the excess. And I'm just kind of putting it right up in there. And that's the shade Duh. That glitter is called Duh. Okay, I'm going to do the other eye, put my lashes on, and then I will demo the gloss and the blush. Okay, I am back, and this is the final eye look. Ooh, it's so pretty. So I just added my Ardell Demi Wispy lashes, and I think the look looks beautiful, okay? So pretty. So I did pick up one of the blushes that launched with this collection, and I picked up the shade that's called drop of a hat. So this is what the packaging looks like right here. So let's go ahead and open this up. We're gonna pop this on the cheek. It's been a moment since I've used like a Super Shock blush. It's been a moment since I've used a Super Shock blush. Say that like 3 times fast. So here is the color of the blush. And it's definitely a glowy blush right here. And I'm just gonna pop a little bit on the cheek right there. And then I'm gonna take a brush to just kind of blend it out, okay? So far, so good. That's very glowy though. And this is just like, it's kind of like a play on, this is a Real Techniques cheek brush. It's kind of like a play on the Artiste brush. But I'm just gonna blend this in, blend this in. And this is cute. It just gives a nice little rosy glow to the cheek. This is actually very pretty. It's a peachy shade. There is a little bit of glitter in it, so, and I'm just gonna build up a little bit more. I'm kind of gonna focus it back. Here we go. Blush is beautiful, as you can see. Just gonna blend it on out. So then I have a gloss. This is the Ultra Glossy Lip, and this is what the packaging looks like. I picked up the shade, let's see, Crushin. Yeah, picked up the shade Crushin. And it actually goes really good with my lip color that I have on right now with Come On Sis. And so this is what a swatch of this looks like. It's just a nice mauve tone gloss, okay? I'm just gonna apply that over my lipstick that I have on. Ugh, it's really pretty. Oh. It's like very nice and pigmented. So I probably put on just a tiny bit too much. Actually, this gloss is actually really, really pretty. And it layers very well over the lipstick. And this is the final look. So I hope you guys like the 3 looks I created for you all. I just think that each one of them were gorgeous, okay? So let's just go ahead and talk about the palette. I mean, Colourpop, they did it. I really love this palette. I love the fall palette from last year, which was the Good Sport palette. That Good Sport palette is like one of my favorite of all time. And I can see how this one can like just sneak up there and be one of my favorite palettes. I mean, the color scheme is gorgeous, okay? If you're not a rosy burgundy person, this might not be for you. I wouldn't say that this palette is mauve. I would say it's more of definitely a burgundy. You have like this one goldish, orangish, melony color. I don't know what to call it, but not okay. The color, not okay. It's so pretty, okay? And then I just love how they put tardy in there to give us a nice champagne look, a moment in the inner crease, or you could put it across the lid. That's, you know, the Super Shock formula you're going to get so much use out of, because you could definitely layer it, you can build it up, you can share it out, and you have so many ways to play with that shade. And it definitely gives a nice inner corner pop, because some of these shades are just so dark. Now, one of my favorite mattes by any means is basically Miss Brightside right here. That is the matte that we put right here. It is so deep, it is so gorgeous, and it just holds its shape and its color, okay? You know, you blend it out like you don't have any problems blending it out. It's a smooth matte. It's not dry, which is really interesting because some of these mattes can be very hard to formulate. I like that you have quite a few shades to kind of go in the transition. Now, I would say this shade is really kind of like, it will blend out this shade or maybe this shade. It's not like the most pigmented shade, but I do have this shade that's right here that is called Pass It On. So I have quite a few options to play with my crease, the outer V, and that's what I really enjoy with a palette, you know what I mean? So then you have these choices of shimmers are just gorgeous. Like you have the Not Okay shade. I think it is beautiful. It's not your traditional gold. You got the TTYN. It's a beautiful rose foil shade. I mean, it like matches my shirt. And then Ditching You is a beautiful shade also, and it can flip. So you can tell like the shade is lighter here, but it just gives a different dimension especially when paired to Not Okay. Bad Guy is beautiful. All of the mattes in here are really, really beautiful. This is a very fun palette. I think this color scheme is very well curated. I think this is basically definitely like the sister palette, like the darker, deeper sister palette to the Sweet Talk palette. And I think it's definitely more burgundy in tone versus like the She palette. The She palette is very rosy, and this is like, She is very rosy and red. This is like burgundy. I'm burgundy and I'm rose gold with a pop of orange. Orangey gold. Copper. I don't know. But I love this shade. I am impressed with this palette. Not Okay. The shimmers are the Not Okay shimmer, like I'm saying, it's very bodied. It's very foil. You don't even have to wet it. And that's what makes it easy with these type of shimmers to just kind of blend all the way up into your crease, especially when you're like me and you have more of a hooded eye. Like it just really works, okay? And I just see multiple looks, and I see this palette looking great on any type of skin tone. And what really made me grab it is like when I saw those swatches on that deep complected skin tone, and I know Karen Harris said the same thing, I was like, yes, I need this palette. This palette is not bad, okay? It's not boring. It's not, And I mean, they hit it out the park for me on this one. Now, this blush is beautiful. They have several blushes. So I think you just have to kind of get what you want for you. This is very peachy, mauve-y. At the same token, you have some glow, so it definitely gives you that highlight effect. And I think it's beautiful. I mean, you can't go wrong with like some of the Super Shock blushes. You just really can't. And then the Ultra Glossy Lip, this shade right here, Crushin, is very pigmented and it's very glossy. I have a little bit on my teeth. So be careful how much you put on, okay, at one time. But it glides over a lipstick very, very nicely. And I think you could also wear it on its own. So overall, I'm really impressed with this palette. I hope you guys like the looks I came out with. I love each and every look I did. I think this palette has so much potential and so much versatility, even though it's all like a burgundy themed palette, and you can see kind of from my 3 looks that I did. So let me know what you guys think about the palette down below. Will you be picking it up, or are you like, I'm not quite sure yet? But just let me know down in the comments, because you know I'm going to respond back to you. Hit the notification bell so you know when I'm putting out another video, and please subscribe to my channel, because you know I would love to have you here in my makeup family. So until later, I will talk to you very soon. Bye. Chair dance. Bye.